I'm going to do a breakdown of our URSA Mini G2 rig, tell you what we've added, and tell you what we've taken away, and also tell you why it's ready for any situation a shoot can throw at it. I'm back at our office, didn't finish till like 1, 2 AM last night, but here I am, making this video, because the grind never stops.
Great story, compelling and rich.
So we've had our URSA Mini G2 for around 2 years now. It's our main workhorse, we've shot hundreds and hundreds of projects on it, it's never let us down. But the one thing we keep chopping and changing is the rigs and accessories. We've used Blackmagic's own accessories, we've used small rig, third party stuff, tilter stuff. I think our rig at the moment is a good balance. It keeps us moving fast. We go from shoulder rig to handheld to tripod really quick. And I even want to show you how we move to gimbal shots on the fly without slowing us down. But let's not waste any more time and let's get into it. So this is the URSA Mini G2 rig down, just as it comes out the box, totally unusable. There's no battery, no lenses. Seeing the camera rigged down like this makes me laugh, as it reminds me of the way that Red market the Komodo and people think this is a lightweight small camera, when realistically there is no power, no usable screens, no lenses, no functionality, no media to record to. And by the time you've added all that stuff, you end up with this big, like, heavy camera that is not lightweight and small at all.
Ooh, wow.
So, first thing we'll do to start building out our rig is a battery plate. We used the V-mount plate, the one from Blackmagic. The reason we chose V-mount over Anton Bauer was simply because we already own a load of V-mounts. We have around 10 V-mounts for our lights and other cameras and accessories. That's just the ecosystem we're in, so it makes total sense for us to go for that battery plate. Also, I love the way it has a D-tap out there for powering monitors and focus motors and accessories. That comes in really handy, and you'll see us use that later on. So this is IDX Duo 198. This is what we run the URSA off. This is a very common battery that people use on an URSA Mini. It's the one you will see in Blackmagic's marketing material, amongst all their website and stuff. I've never actually tested it, but you get around 2 to 4 hours worth of runtime out of one of these on an URSA Mini. Really reliable, really good. They have 2 D-tap ports and 1 USB port and a really pointless torch built on the back. So next, let's add a top handle. Our top handle of choice is Blackmagic's official top handle of their own. We do have a small rig. I think we have 2 other small rig handles. I will put some B-roll on screen of those. They're also really good. We do use them. There is a main reason we use this top handle that I'll get to later on, but let me add this. The next thing I will add is a base plate. We use Blackmagic's official base plate. We used to use a small rig base plate, but we recently swapped out, like maybe 6 months ago. There's a reason for that, what I'm going to get to later on. And this thing comes with a built-in shoulder pad, 2 holes for 15mm rods with screw tightens either side with hand screws on, Arri rosettes on either side for arms and handles, and it works with a VCT mount for when you're going onto a tripod. So let me add that. The next thing I want to talk about is the side plate. We used to run a small rig cheese plate along the top, but since adding the Blackmagic's official top handle, it does not allow you to do that. So what we did to get around that is we added a small rig side cheese plate. We use this to mount our wireless feed, what I'll show you later on. We have these little guys, these cable organizers. These things are quite cool and they glow in the dark. We also have a Velcro here, what we use to put time cord and tentacle syncs on. It also comes with Arri rosettes and all sorts of 1/4-20s and mounts. So the next thing I'm going to add is a cold shoe. This thing is locking, it's got a little locking mechanism on it. I'll just screw that onto the top handle and we'll mount off of that. This is another small rig device. It's just a cold shoe mount to a 1/4-20 screw. I will put that into the cold shoe mount, screw that down, and that's got double locked from the screw and the cold shoe locking mechanism. And the monitor of choice we will use is the Portkeys BM5. This is a 5-inch ultrabright monitor. We've had this for a while. The next thing we would add on to see our shots is the Blackmagic viewfinder. Now this thing is the reason we use the Blackmagic top handle and base plate, as these things come as a kit and all work together. What's a vital part of our shoulder setup. I will show you that once the rigging's complete. But yeah, this thing just slides into the top handle. The URSA Mini body has a power port and a signal port for the video built in it, ready to just clip straight on. Everything's going there, and there you are, your setup. So the next thing I'm going to add is our wireless transmitter. This thing is the Hollyland 400 possibly. We've had this quite a while. It's one of the old Hollylands, as you can tell by the design. It's not the same as all their newer kind of fancier stuff, but we've got no reason to upgrade this just yet. So for now, we're fine using this one. This one will send a signal off to a handheld first AC to pull focus or a director's monitor. So to mount this on the camera, we will use a small rig articulating arm with an array locking on one side and just a 1/4-20 on the other. This will go into the small rig side plate. It mounts camera side with the array locking mechanism. And then the 1/4-20 just screws into the bottom of the Hollyland. And then we can send wireless signal off to a first AC to full focus or a director's monitor for clients. The next thing I'm going to mount on is a focus motor. To do this, I will use a 50mm rod. This is a carbon fibre one from Small Rig. I will use the Blackmagic base plate to mount the rod. And now I will put on the Nucleus M focus motor from Tilter. Now let's start getting into some configurations. This is the Blackmagic Arm. This is a Small Rig wooden handle. We'll add this on for our shoulder mount setup. Screws onto the Blackmagic base plate in the array rosette, and this allows us to mount the camera on a shoulder using the eyepiece for like a run and gun shoulder setup. So the next configuration we do is handheld shots. The way we do these is we will put a little mounting pin in the Blackmagic top handle. This allows us to mount onto an easy rig. We'll wear the vest. The vest just quickly clamps on with a quick release plate and allows us to shoot for long periods of time using handheld to get some energetic footage. So we use the VCT base plate from Small Rig. That works with the Blackmagic base plate that's on the camera, and it allows us to quickly jump on the tripod like so. And then if we need to quickly move back to handheld or shoulder rig, there's a release latch just here, and that'll take us back. So the last thing I want to touch on is how we get gimbal shots. Obviously, by the time the Ursa's rigged up, it's way too big for us to be using and gimbal. You need a Steadicam op for that. What we have done in the past and still do sometimes is that gets a much more organic image than a gimbal for us. But for more shoots, we are running gimbal. We use the Crane 3S, and we have a Blackmagic 6K Pro. And this thing, as we arrive on set, will just get mounted on the Crane 3S with a ring attachment from Small Rig, and it will all be set up ready. And we will just need to move the focus motor and the wireless transmitter over to the gimbal, and we're good to go. This thing matches up really well color-wise with the Ursa sensor. Both being Blackmagic RAW, they can both go into Gen 5 color science from Blackmagic, and for color grading and post-processing makes our life really easy. Hopefully you got something from watching this video. Even if you don't use an Ursa yourself or use a Pocket or another brand or manufacturer, you can get the idea of how we like to build our rigs to keep things moving. We don't like to be slowed down. It's all about speed, as time is money when you're on set. I don't know if you've already noticed, but we're shooting this on a non-Blackmagic camera. What is our new camera? Let's see in the comments below if anyone can guess what it is, or let me know if it looks worse or better. I'd love to know. If you want to see what lenses we use with our Ursa Mini G2 and why one fell out of a moving van, click here.